Hi, I'm Sally Burrell, and I haven't been to a meeting in a little while, but I've certainly been to a lot and
Oh, yeah.
been the chair of the committee for a long time, and glad to be passing it on to others.
Great. Mike?
I'm Mike Corey. I've been a member of the Energy Committee for a long, long time. And I too have not been here for a couple of meetings, I believe. Happy to be back.
Yeah, great. Good to see you, both of you. And you look healthy as can
I'm
be.
totally healthy. Yeah,
Great.
it's great.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's amazing what can be done
Yeah.
in
Wow.
modern medicine. Yeah.
Yeah. Very nice.
I'm Allison Pouliot. I am a community member, and I have recently retired, so I have a little bit of time, so I'm just kind of seeing what this is all about. And then my secondary role, when I retired, I took on a new role as a program manager for window dressers for the state of Vermont.
Oh, great.
So I saw on the agenda that you guys were gonna talk about that, so I thought that I would come and share any info that I have and just see if there's any questions I can answer, any support I can provide.
Great.
That's my purpose.
That's terrific. And you might want to kind of see how this all flows
Yeah.
and maybe think about joining the Energy
Yeah, that's what I'm
Committee.
thinking about.
Great.
I have a
Oh,
little
great.
bit of free time now, so.
The last thing on the agenda is.
I saw that.
Yeah. Recruitment. That's terrific. I'm Richard Butts. I've been on the Energy Committee for, I don't know, probably 8 years, something like that, I think. Carl and I are flipping back and forth. We're co-chairing the thing, and this is my night to chair. Carl?
Carl Engvall, I think 2 or 3 years on the Energy Committee. And yeah, and it only takes just a little bit of time each month, okay, for the Energy Committee.
It's not burdensome.
It is not burdensome.
And I'm Ben Scalostra. I am the newest member, I believe, of the Energy Committee. I think I just might have hit a year, maybe 1 year, maybe not quite at the timing. I'm not sure about. But I'm recently moved to Bristol, to Vermont, actually in 2021, and I have, I guess, volunteered myself to be note taker. So I take meeting minutes and send them out to everybody. So
It does incredible meeting minutes.
that's my role here,
phenomenal.
and yeah, so glad to be here. I'm glad to be in this room for the first time as well. Because
Yeah.
of Bristol, so just into
Yeah.
experience.
We'll see how it goes, whether we want to alternate or always meet in person, but sometimes Zoom is just so much simpler. But I thought tonight, since we're going to be working a little bit on this document, that it might be good to be here present in person. Okay, so we don't have probably public comment because you're going to be actually discussing with us during the meeting. Do you have any public comment you'd like to make?
No, thank
No
you.
public? Okay, we have a couple of updates. On March 6th, I went down to Brandon and met with the Brandon Energy Committee. That all started actually window dressers last year in Melbury, where some of the Brandon people were there, and we naturally bonded and started talking. And I was interested in learning what they were doing, of course, and they were particularly interested in our experience with Bristol Community Solar. So I spent about a half an hour with them. It was actually town meeting day, and so I came ripping back for town meeting, but sort of just a synopsis of what they were doing. They came up to visit us on Zoom prior to that. I don't remember, was it in December maybe? I think, or was
December,
it January?
I
Was
think
it
it might have been
January?
January.
Okay. And they saw that we were spending a good bit of time in our discussions about legislation and things that were going on in terms of energy in Vermont, energy legislation. And they are much more involved in hands-on projects in the community. And I found that very interesting to hear about their experience. And one of the things that I'd like to talk about is their experience running a Saturday all-day hands-on energy workshop in which they had stations and experts at each station. They had a half a dozen stations, and they not only demonstrated, but they allowed people to try different insulation and weatherization techniques. And they had about, they said over 50 people attended. And they also got a grant, a couple of grants, to enable everybody to walk away with a kit of the window insulating stuff, weather stripping, and even the foam, the great stuff type foam, which I stay away from whenever I can, but they had people showing people how to use it. And they said it was very well received and very, very successful, and they'll probably do it again. And so one of the things that we'll talk about tonight might be, do we want to do something like that? I did at the town meeting, I ran into Ted Lilas, and I asked Ted if he would be up for running one of those stations. And he immediately jumped all over it. He said, oh yeah, I said, I'd love to do that. So I think we might be able to find people who have some expertise. One of the things that the Brandon people said was, you've got to be really careful if you're going to do this, so you have people who have expertise. So you can get into trouble. They also said that they had anticipated after that going into people's homes and helping them do this work. And the town of Brandon said absolutely not.
Oh, really?
Because of liability issues.
Okay.
And I think that might be behind Matt Sharp's email earlier today.
Okay.
Matt Sharp works for Efficiency Vermont, and he seemed to be raising cautions about that, but is very up for the idea of doing workshops, like in Holly Hall. So I think we need to look at the things that are coming up under old business, such as plan to organize a team to help people weatherize their homes, window dressers, energy committee presence at events such as Pocock Rocks and the Harvest Festival, and scheduling another EV vehicle event. And it's a matter of bandwidth for us. What do we think we can do and do well? So when we get to that, we'll kind of talk about that. I'm going to talk a lot for a couple minutes and then I'll hopefully shut up. I did have a meeting with Madison Shropshire at Addison County Regional Planning Commission, and Ian Albinson. We had a Zoom meeting earlier this week or late last week, in which we were talking about the municipal energy resiliency plan. And by the way, nobody's registered for it yet. It hasn't opened. And that has 4 parts. And just let me open that up. Where did I put it? There it is. So in March, right now, applications are open for $4,000 community grants. And the $4,000 community grants apparently can be for almost anything. Madison said that they just want to get the money out the door. And so the idea is you could hire somebody to write grants. For $4,000, I'm not sure what you get for that, but it's a possibility. I mentioned the fact of the community workshops, and that could be where money could be spent on getting supplies. I asked if we could purchase kits, and Madison said she didn't think we could. And then I asked her if it was, if they were considered teaching supplies. She said, well, maybe so. I mean, it's very loose. So one of the things that we should talk about, and also Ian was interested in for the town, is how that $4,000 might be applied, split up. The second part, which is coming up, we hope later this month or early April, is the applications for the energy assessments. And the energy assessments are of two kinds. One is the walkthrough assessment, they call that a level 1. And that is the kind of thing that you would do if, for example, we're looking at Holly Hall and the town library right now, and possibly Howden Hall.
Okay.
But there are several, we're going to be proposing one building as a level 2, and that would need what's called the investment grade audit. And so the investment grade audit would more than likely be the library. And that would involve everything up to and including geothermal system, deep well geothermal system, particularly since they've already got radiant heating in the floor and so on. So it could be very adaptable. The walkthrough assessment would probably be useful for both Howden Hall and Holly Hall at this point, although that could change. So we agreed. Ian said that he felt that the library was the higher level building assessment.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean that either one of the others couldn't also have significant work done on them. There's $500,000 available, plus apparently there are all kinds of other grants that Madison said they're working on. So just kind of an update right now. The MERP, when it opens up for application, Madison will work with us. One bad good thing is the higher the energy burden is on a community, the more you are on the list. And Bristol is at the highest level of energy burden. And so we qualify at a higher strata, which
Why
is
is
good. Energy burden simply is the income versus the cost of energy for residents. So they have figures on what everybody spends for their energy, and also then the income figures through the entire state. And then
I've read that. I've read that too before.
yeah.
And,
Yeah, it's interesting. Report on EV chargers for Bristol, very simply, that's all part of this as well. Right now, I think what's going to happen is there's going to be a whole lot of balancing and juggling going on where funds go. We're going to get all these things done in the next 3-4 years, EV charger building upgrades and things like that. The question is, where is it most advantageous to access the funds? So EV chargers are fairly high on the list for ARPA, but that might be wasting ARPA funds since they're more restrictive. And we may be able to do that in another way. So we'll be working with the select board, and particularly Ian Albertson, I think, on that. Okay, so old business. Do you have any questions on any
What
of
does
this?
MERP, I'm sorry,
MERP-
stand for? Is it
MERP is-
MIRP?
It's MERP,
Okay.
it's Municipal Energy Resilience Plan,
Okay.
okay?
I have one comment to make on the talk about the workshops.
Mhm.
And I remember doing those in one of our things. I don't think it was with Dave Sharp, but someone else came into the firehouse and someone came with these kits to show people how to put tightening up their doors or different things, and people kind of practiced and learned. And it was strictly taught as a DIY thing, so that I think it takes care of that problem with
Going
worrying
in.
about us going in and doing it.
Right.
You know, it's
Right.
like their job, we teach them
Right.
well how to do it, and then
Yeah.
they do it. So I think that's a great thing to,
How many people were participated, do you remember?
it seemed like there were a number of people in the room, maybe 30, 35 or something, I'm not sure.
Where was it in the firehouse? Was it
In the
upstairs?
main room, that community room
really?
upstairs, yeah.
Huh.
And I'm trying to remember who exactly, I mean, it was kind of energy committee-ish, but I don't really know what the whole thing was about. If it was like a buttoning up and then, okay, here are some DIY things, and I don't remember who was actually
Was it a button-up event?
I don't really remember because it doesn't
Yeah.
seem like, I can think of all our button-up things and
Yeah.
it didn't seem like it fit into that one.
Yeah.
Unless it was in one of the ones that Matt led, it was a long one, but this seems like a different person was there doing this other thing, so I can't quite hone in on what exactly was going on, but that was certainly a part of it and it was really great. And whoever it is that came and brought all those materials was really helpful. I mean, they know how to teach people and they had all the things out there and yeah, it was
Sounds a
great.
little bit like DIY window dressers, sort of. Like, you get people together, you teach them how to build this project, and then you just let them go build it, which is a little bit different than window dressers, but
Yeah.
it sounds like a good approach. I mean, if you can build it with found materials or
Yeah,
just have
right.
stuff around, it sounds like a good approach. And it solves that funding issue, or question, I guess.
Yeah.
Matt might know about it if I talk to Matt about it.
Yeah,
So we're saying that the Bristol Select Board is gonna have the same view as the Brandon Select Board of like, we definitely cannot go into people's homes.
it's
Is it
something
even
we'll
worth
have to
asking?
ask. No,
Okay.
we haven't asked yet. And the question is, do we want to? Do we have the workforce to do it?
Right.
All these things we have to explore.
Yeah, I think that is really tricky, the whole, yeah, I think that is tricky. Helping them get to the point where they hire someone or they do it themselves. But yeah, I think it will be tricky to figure out how that works.
Right.
You know,
Well, and one of the
without being-
beauties of window dressers is we go in and we measure and then it's all done outside and then they pop them in. Okay. So I guess the question is, do we want to pursue this idea?
Exactly.
The idea of doing a workshop
That's a good idea.
to
I
show people how.
I think that's a really good idea.
Mhm.
I think it
Okay.
really helps people get their hands on stuff and imagine themselves being able to do it and that kind of thing. I think that's really important. Whether we end up being in their houses doing it, I don't know if that's the thing that works. I think it's more like the workshop, but we can find out.
Yeah,
Okay, so we ought to have somebody kind of take a lead on it. Anybody want to do that? We should assign roles on these things so we don't drop them.
right, that's fair. Yeah, it's kind of springboarding off of my idea of going to people's homes to, I was calling it and bringing it to people, but, yeah, I'd be happy to work on the workshop thing.
Okay, Ben, do you want to note that
I got it.
Carl's there, head on this one?
Thanks, Carl. It seems like
Yeah, that's great.
you're knowledgeable about that kind
Yeah,
of
I
stuff.
see.
Seems like you're the one.
Yeah, and I'd love to see people get the skills,
Yeah.
you know, and materials to do it.
Yeah, that's great.
Happy to work with you, Carl.
Oh, that'd be great.
Great.
Thanks, Mike.
Great. So maybe by the next meeting, if you guys can do some thinking about it, do we want to maybe shoot for the fall?
Yeah, like
Seems like a
early
good time.
fall.
Early fall?
Early
Yeah.
fall will still kind of warm enough. It's
Mhm.
getting cool. People are worrying about the winter, but it's still warm enough to actually get stuff done.
Maybe a good frost to scare them into
Good timing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I will get back to Matt Sharp
Good.
about his concerns and his thoughts about it, and I'll keep you in the loop on that, Mike, and see if he has.
Okay.
For all he knows, he said, "Yeah, Efficiency Vermont has a program that we can just bring to Bristol and do." So I'll contact
Yeah,
him.
check and
Because
see.
they
what-
used to have kits you could get,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
That had pieces, parts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know if they still do.
yeah, I don't know.
Things-
If they, I
things
think
have
they do. I
changed
think
there.
they might. But
We'll
I'm
see.
not sure.
Yeah, but you guys will check that out. So the next item on the agenda is window dressers. we have done it, how many times in Bristol? Twice? Or three
Twice in
times?
Bristol,
Yeah.
and then we did it in
Middlebury.
Middlebury,
Yeah,
so 3 in a row,
yeah.
basically.
So I guess if you guys are okay, I'd just like to kind of tell you what's going on
Good.
in the area.
Great.
So you kind of have a lay of the land. So Middlebury, the Rotary Club is not gonna do a window dressers event this year. It was a lot for them, and they indicated that they'd had discussions with Maggie Eaton that they were up for doing like an every other year. Now, I don't know if that got lost in the communication or whatever. So I've also been talking with Mike Schick from Brandon. They
Oh,
were
yeah.
thinking about doing
Mhm.
one, but they don't seem like they can get enough people together to like organize it at this point. So they're kind of looking at maybe doing it next year. Charlotte is in this year. They're gonna do it, and they have said that they would take people from Moncton, Virgins, and then I'm also working with a group in Williston that's thinking about doing it, and they're thinking about working with South Burlington and Richmond, and then we have Burlington. I've had some discussions with Maggie about, what does Bristol want to do, and she's been very uncommittal, so I'll leave it with her. But I did do a little bit of looking today just in anticipation of this meeting, and there is a lot of demand. So left over from last year coming into this season, there were an estimated 83 inserts for Bristol, Lincoln, and New Haven. So
Wow.
there's demand there. And those people, if nobody in the area decides to do it, they're not gonna be able to get them. So I guess one of the things I wanted to just bring up is, one, obviously, if you guys are willing to do one. 2, if you're not willing to do one, are you willing to measure? Because Charlotte would build inserts for people in our area. If we have people that would
Mhm.
measure and then would also volunteer there. So I just kind of want to let everybody know kind of what's up, in
Yeah.
the area.
Yeah.
No pressure,
Right,
but
right.
just that's kind of what's going on. And I've been trying to broker, like talking with Jamie Gerlaw and Charlotte, well, if I can get people in Bristol to measure, would you be willing to build their inserts? And he's like, yeah, people are willing to volunteer. It's because they're having a hard time finding demand.
Okay.
In Charlotte,
Okay.
Shelburne,
Really?
it's pretty affluent, right?
True, yeah.
So they're trying to look for ways to get more demand with low income people, and they're having a hard time. So I've hooked them up with some other people throughout the state that have like looked at mobile homes or other things. So I'm trying to be like a broker here without
Good.
getting myself too
Good.
involved,
So you're
right?
saying that
I'm assuming it's more efficient to have like 3 towns and 1 build site.
I'm
rather than
finding
build
that.
site, build site, build site.
Finding that,
Yeah,
that
okay.
I think people are starting to learn that the whole idea of like, a regional build is kind of where it's at.
Sure.
Just for your information, last year, we had more builds than Maine did, which is where it started, which is really exciting.
Huh.
So we had 22 builds last year, and right now we're looking at 5 or 6 new builds in Vermont. So it's really taking off. I think we built over, I think it was like around 9,600 inserts last year.
Oh, that's great.
In
Wow.
the whole program, so it's really growing, and the demand is growing, and really the demand is growing more than what people can satisfy. So we're talking March, right? And we already have 83 demand for 83 inserts in Bristol and Lincoln and New Haven. And the goal for a new or an experienced build, our window dressers ask would be that you would target 250.
Mhm.
So
Target
250 inserts
for a whole.
for the whole 5 days or 6
Okay.
days.
For a whole group like Charlotte, if they were doing.
Yes,
So if we did the 80,
that's a
That would be
huge
great.
help for them.
but we don't have to do 250.
Correct. If you worked with them, yeah.
Right.
So that's just I just wanted to kind of, that's my piece.
Before
Just kind of keep
make
you
a
guys
decision
in what's
now,
going on.
whether we want to jump in on that?
What do you think?
I can say that I really loved measuring both years. First year was Mike, and then the next year I did it with Marianne, who brought the computer and put it all in and made the thing. I mean, that was amazing. I can't do that.
And then she sent the invoices.
Yeah,
Did a
and so it was
beautiful
just,
job.
it was a great way to just make it happen fast. And I would do that again if someone was a computer person, like maybe Marianne would do it again. I don't know if she would. I have to check with her. But
And I'm also I have to have the conversation. I'm actually going to Maine next week to meet with Jessica. I've never met Jessica yet. And one of my questions is going to be, you know, can I work? Because I could do that.
well, we could be a team.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So is that a conflict of interest? I don't think it
I
is.
I
would.
don't see
think
how
it
it
would
would
be.
be.
No, you got two hats, you take one off and you.
Right.
Correct.
That's it.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah,
you know, I have time now.
fabulous.
You know, I'm a part-time worker here.
Excellent.
So just, you know, that's another thought.
Great.
But yeah, I mean, if we wanted to do that, then, you know, we could say, yeah, we're gonna measure for Bristol, Lincoln, New Haven, and we're also gonna send some volunteers to help them.
Yeah, and that has to be the people.
The people
who are
who are buying them, as well as
as well as
some of us could.
that we have to talk about that because that's a big job too.
But we wouldn't have to be running it. Right.
That's a
We-
huge.
Yeah, that's
Jamie
beautiful.
can run it,
Yeah.
Jamie can do all that. We could just go and help.
Yes,
Yeah.
that sounds.
That's the fun
Yeah.
part as far
It
as
is.
Yeah.
I agree. Just
Yeah.
it really is a fun.
I mean, I volunteered here in 2021 because I bought
Yeah.
a bunch of inserts.
Yeah.
And then last year, I loved it so much. I
That's
bought
great.
more inserts last year, and I volunteered in Middlebury,
That's great.
and I really liked it.
Yeah.
And then the opportunity just fell in my lap.
Oh, this is
So,
awesome.
It's
Very
awesome.
nice.
It
really
is
great.
awesome.
Yeah, I'm very excited. It's such a great program.
Do you
So-
know when Charlotte is thinking about doing it, the bill?
They don't have dates. They don't have dates set yet, and I believe last year they ended up using, you know, that old Nordic farm in Charlotte. Actually, it's
yeah.
almost to Shelburne, right on
Mhm.
Route 7. That's where
Mhm.
they used it, and they said that was a really good space. And I think they're trying to do it
They
again
get
there.
some
But
shrimp up there too.
yeah, is that what they do? They grow them up
They
there.
grow shrimp.
Really?
Yeah,
Get out of here.
yeah.
Huh.
There's Vermont shrimp.
So yeah, I don't think they have dates set. I can have another conversation with him if you guys are, you know.
We're
need
in,
to-
I think
I'm in.
we're interested. I
Yeah.
think as everybody,
It doesn't mean
Yeah,
that
let's-
everyone has to do it, but I
Right.
think
Yeah.
that we'd get enough people to do it. I'd certainly be glad to be a measuring team with someone. If I can borrow your
yeah,
thingy,
yeah.
because we don't
It is
have
wrong.
one in Bristol.
Get a laser.
I think I might have laid my eyes on one of those
Really?
in Maine at the production facility. I've asked her to send me the serial numbers. I saw one. It had a big red tape on it that said Bristol, and I thought,
Oh.
I gotta tell
Yeah,
Sally.
we've been.
Yeah, and it's clearly not Bristol.
Boy, we can be
It's
bought
definitely
easy.
Bristol.
Yeah, you give us a measure.
So I'll let you know when I find out. I'm
So
hoping I'll find
exciting.
out tomorrow. I'm not gonna let
I mean,
that
it
die.
could have been from another year, I suppose. But.
Who
Well,
cares?
mine's available. I mean, it's no problem.
They're talking about a laser measure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can get you another one too. I have it in.
They're only like $80
Right.
at Lowe's.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, the decision for you guys is really, you know, do you want to have a build of your own? It's a lot of
No.
work. But if you don't, would you be willing to help?
Yes.
A lot.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
that's my answers anyway, not a.
Yeah.
No, I think we
Yeah,
just have an informal.
And I
I
think
think we're in.
if you
Yeah.
had two measuring teams, you'd be set. I
Mhm.
think. Right?
We had
For-
one basically this year, and then I couldn't go the last 2 days or something, and so Marion got another person to do it the last 2 days. So we pulled it off basically with one, but we could do two. It'd be great to have two if we had to.
And I guess the other question would be, you know, would we want to do any outreach to try to get more?
If Jamie's up for it.
I guess we'd
I
have
wanna
to talk to
flood
Jamie.
that.
I'd
We
have to
gotta
talk to
coordinate,
Jamie
yeah.
and find out, you know, how much demand do you want us to bring?
Yeah.
If we hit the 250 cap, we wanted to say, okay, that's a soft cap, or is it like, no, that's the hard cap? Like we don't want to do more than that.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
a lot.
It
It's
is
a
a lot.
lot.
Oh, totally. Yeah,
It's
no,
a
it's a
lot.
lot. It's a
Yeah.
lot.
So
You
sorry,
want
in the
construct
eyes
too.
of window dressers, 250, that's the max or the min?
No, so for new teams, 200 is the goal we ask
Okay,
them.
all right.
It's for budgeting. It's so that we can pay our bills,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then for experienced teams, we ask them to set a goal of 200, 250.
250.
But there are some, I think, I'm trying to think which, was it Woodstock? One of the bigger towns, they're doing 375.
Wow, okay.
So but usually it's around, 230 to 250 is what I've been seeing. I know Middlebury did 233 last year.
One of my long-term goals has been to get into the apartments
Yeah.
on Main Street to see if the landlords or the tenants would be interested.
It's really up to the tenants because they don't,
We don't
it doesn't
change anything.
change anything in,
Yeah.
in an apartment, and it just makes it cozier for the tenants.
And if they're paying for heat, maybe hopefully it saves them a little bit of money.
And they're just more comfortable.
I
I'd love to do
think
that.
we'll find out who the landlords are and talk to them.
Sounds great.
Because
Yeah,
I
that-
might get a landlord who'd say, well, I'll pay for
Yeah.
them, you know.
Or split the cost.
Yeah, or
Or
share.
if the people that live in the apartments can't afford them, there is the,
Mhm.
the special rate.
So,
Or maybe the landlord could make a donation, right,
Mhm.
against
Yeah.
it, not pay the full price. I mean, there's a lot of ways to
yeah.
skin that cat.
Okay. All right, so.
So do you want me, if you guys are agreeable, I can communicate with Jamie
Sounds great.
to let him know that you guys are willing to measure in, Bristol, Lincoln, New Haven.
Yeah.
We are,
Sounds great.
Perfect.
and we're very, very grateful to have you on the team.
Oh, I'll
today.
thank you. I'm very, very grateful to.
So,
I've been able to meet really a lot of people in the state that are, a lot of the energy committees are involved in the window dressers project throughout the state, and it's been amazing to meet a lot of really interesting people.
I'm a little bit, I'm very proud of window dressers because it started in a Lutheran church in Maine.
Yep.
Measuring church windows. And I'm a Lutheran and I was,
Have you ever seen the video?
yes, I have.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
love the video.
and it's the kind of thing that faith communities can do.
yeah,
That we might want to reach out in terms of
some of the,
workforce and so on.
Well, remember in 2021 when we did it here, we built all those inserts for Beeman.
That's right.
oh, right.
Remember how huge those
Yeah,
things
they
were?
were
Huge windows there.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
They were huge.
They were hard to
And I know last year in Middlebury, they built a bunch of inserts for Hope. And then they also built inserts for Charterhouse,
Nice.
which was really nice.
Great.
Cool.
So great.
Be very interesting to talk to New Haven. Again, weather plays a factor, obviously, but did they realize any energy savings once they put those inserts in? I don't know how many they
There was like
have. They didn't-
11, 12. I mean, there was a lot.
Was it
Yeah.
downstairs in the
Wow.
library like thing or something?
They didn't do the whole school, did they? No.
I think it was downstairs, right? Out downstairs, or maybe.
I don't
maybe not.
remember. I know they were huge.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
wrapping
Yeah.
those. They were huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be interesting, although winters change.
Well, that's it. I mean, that's-
It's probably hard to track.
Maybe you can come up with an equation, like how many, this winter was X number of, what do they call them?
Heating
Heating
degree
degree
days.
days.
Yeah.
Heating days, and try to, get a closer estimate.
And also just subjective testimonials from
Yeah.
teachers saying,
Mhm.
fingers crossed, and never say, oh, it is so much warmer now with
Yeah.
these things in place.
Yeah. Well, residents certainly tell us that,
Uh-huh.
Yeah, definitely.
I know. I know my own house. So I in 2018 I put in solar and 2 heat pumps and a heat pump hot water heater, and then in 2021 I did my first go on the inserts, and I know I went from so I still have my furnace as my backup. I went from burning about 900 gallons of fuel a year to like 300.
Wow,
Yeah,
wow.
That's huge.
Yeah,
that's
we've
huge.
done that. We have exactly the same kind of thing.
It's huge. I mean, it's like, I just thank God. It's like when I get my little $16 electric bill, I'm like, yes. And, you know, I don't have to pay Champlain Valley Heating,
Yeah.
any fuel.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, we'll only be around 200 gallons of oil this year.
Yeah, feels good.
Down from almost 1,000, so
Yeah.
it really makes a difference. Okay.
All right, so I will talk to
cool.
him.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
thank you.
Allison.
So, Energy Committee President said, this is probably a no-brainer. Do we want to have some kind of tabling at Pocock Rocks?
What's the date?
Well, they don't have one
17th,
yet.
I thought.
Yeah.
Is it, and
I
they
thought I
said,
saw it's June 17th.
oh, really? Okay.
Oh,
It's
I
usually
just-
mid
That's
June.
Sunday.
Then the 16th?
It's probably the 7th.
Yeah, I just,
I did a really quick search and I couldn't
Yeah.
find it.
I thought I
Again.
just saw it.
yeah, let's check that out.
What do you think would be, what we offer and what would people want to see at that time of year?
Well, certainly we'd want to advertise window dressers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good time for it, actually.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, right.
advance registration. We could drag out the lawn equipment again.
Oh, yeah, lawn
Yeah.
equipment, right.
Yeah,
When I was at the booth at Field Days for regional planning,
Mhm.
people loved getting weather stripping, window kits, stuff like that.
yeah,
So enough, you know, if we can score some of those.
Some efficient film or something.
Right.
Yeah, so just kind of like a usual thing we do at Harvest Fest or something.
I guess, unless you have some other thoughts.
For that event?
And I can get you some stuff.
Okay.
I think I have a commitment on the 16th. If it's the 16th, I can't do it, but if it's any other day in June, I could help. And I could get you stuff. I mean, I could get you, the little, still have
Oh, yeah,
this that
yeah.
you gave me,
Yeah, all right.
the little cards.
Yeah.
Good.
And
Excellent.
a
I
sample.
might have some of it left over too. That's great. And the sample, yeah, I don't think we have a sample.
Do you have a sample? If you don't, I
I
can
don't
get
think
out.
I do.
That's part of why I'm
You
going
mean
to
a
meet.
window? I've got a window that I made up.
I know, but we want to show them. That's great that you show that, but it shows, the other one shows exactly what the dimensions are, whereas yours isn't dimensional. It's yours does not have the same size framing.
Oh,
so
I
it
see. You
doesn't
mean
look
I
like
can,
yeah.
I could give you
Okay.
one of my
You know,
little
Okay.
ones.
they could show a big one
Mhm.
and then, but be sure they see what it really
Yeah.
looks like, what the
Mhm.
real.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I wonder if some photographs of installed windows
Good idea.
would be great, because I'm sure people
Yeah.
look at these things and go, yeah, but are those going to look okay in my
Yeah.
house? You know?
We have all kinds of outreach materials. We have, I can get all
Okay.
kinds of stuff that you
We
guys
got the
could have
image.
at the table.
Right.
Yeah.
And
That's
I don't have time to do this, but I'm thinking of videoed testimonials from people raving about their windows.
There may be some of those,
Yeah, we have it. It's running on a laptop there on a loop.
just on a loop.
Yeah.
We could have that video that you saw with, the starting in the church and the
Mhm.
whole process. We could just have that running on.
Yeah,
Mhm.
true.
Although it's pretty loud at Pocock
That's
Rocks,
true.
So
Yeah.
I wouldn't, I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
right. It's a
So-
lot.
Yeah, maybe in the fall at the Harvest Fest
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
be better
Yeah,
for
that
that.
would be better.
We have a lot of those, what are they, the things that you wrote up about your place.
Oh, the case studies.
Case studies, yeah. And we have a ton of case studies. And now that people are really starting to hear, stuff on Front Porch Forum and stuff, and how would I ever go about it? It's going to be too expensive and all that. These case studies are really
Mhm.
awesome to show people that real people right here in Bristol have been doing this and actually saving money. And it's a step-by-step thing. This is what you can do. So I think case studies would be great.
Mm.
Pocock Forum
Mhm.
too.
Okay.
I think we get plenty of stuff.
Sounds like it.
We can use my
Okay.
tent.
Okay.
Nice.
I don't know. Do they have tents? I can't remember.
Yeah, people do.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have to if we don't want, but it's usually,
It can be pretty
sunny
hot.
and
Yeah,
you might
yeah.
want to.
It's
Or it could be rain.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
There's something.
True.
or snow.
Hopefully not in June.
Okay, so it sounds to me like we're up to do these festivals, and as we get closer, we'll start laying the groundwork. Does that make sense?
Then they're bringing back the farmer's market.
Ah, the
Yeah.
farmers-
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, am I willing to do this? It's kind of stretching my bandwidth. But, do we want to be a continual presence at farmer's market? And if so, how? It'd be a lot.
Maybe
It's a big ask.
maybe once in a while.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Like once a month.
yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Okay.
that sounds good.
yeah. Yeah, I don't see how we could do it
Every week.
every week.
No.
It'd be-
That'd
be hard.
I start with the impossible perfect and work backwards to reality.
Okay, so we'll look at that as it goes. I don't think, they don't have a start date for that yet either.
I couldn't find one.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay. And then the other final thing on that part of the agenda is, do we want to schedule another EV event? Electric vehicle.
I think they're good.
I do too.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. It's easy for us.
What is
It
it? What does it look like?
Okay, so Green Mountain Power, and maybe Locomotion, no, not Locomotion. Well, anyway, Green Mountain Power mainly brings a few cars and trucks, electric ones, and other people in the town bring electric vehicles or hybrids, and then line them all up along the green. And people come to just look at them and learn and open up the trunk and this and that and learn all about them. And they can test drive them, or they can go for a ride with the owner, or they just learn a lot about, they get a chance to really feel it and ask questions and
Yeah,
get to know the possibilities.
Right.
And this year there were pickup trucks, electric
Yeah.
pickup trucks. People
There's an
were
electric
like-
Mustang.
no, the
Yeah,
Mustang,
right.
the Mustang, I would buy the Mustang.
And then there were also one electric bike,
Mhm.
or whatever it was, hybrid? No,
E-bike.
E-bike.
Yeah.
And electric chainsaw, did you
Chainsaw.
bring?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And mower.
And mower, yeah. So it just gives people a chance to look at them and ask questions, and it's pretty easy. It's an easy event.
Yeah, they just come and Green Mountain Power has materials to hand out, and
Yeah.
it's pretty.
Is
I
it-
like
Might-
it.
Might you do that in conjunction with the farmers market? If they're on a Saturday?
On a Saturday, yeah.
I think I'd keep it separate.
You would?
Yeah. I mean, I see what you're saying, in conjunction.
Because people,
Yes.
because people would be
Yes,
in
yes,
town.
yes.
There it is.
Absolutely, I see what you're saying. But not try to fit it next to the farmers, but just have it the same day.
Yeah.
Perfect. Sounds like a really good one.
Mhm.
It's usually around October 1st. I think maybe 2 years in a row it was about October 1st.
Somewhere in there, yeah.
I'm sure that would be a
Saturday,
good
if we
time for
wanted,
farmers.
I tried to get electric motorcycles, and Saturdays are just no-goes for them.
Yeah.
They're out riding.
Well, no, they're
at their
selling.
shop.
There's
They're selling.
I see. Okay.
Yeah,
Someone who owns one could come and have one. That would be enough right there, to just have a
Yeah.
person who owns
we
one.
wouldn't want anybody actually trying them. Apparently, they are really tricky.
Yeah, I bet.
The woman told me that we were looking at them. They're really seductive, and they really are.
He
That's a
wants one of
word.
those along with the Mustang.
A good way to stay on a Mustang. But she said, "This is our crash motorcycle." And I said, "What do you mean?" And she said, "This is the one that they let people try, and no matter how much they warn them to go easy on the throttle, everybody who's used to a regular motorcycle."
Yeah.
And it said, and invariably it goes into the fence or it goes everywhere.
Wow.
So-
It's all about the torque.
Yep, yep,
That
it's
even
right there.
happens with electric bikes. I found that when there were a bunch being demonstrated and people got to try them at one of the things down at near the hub. And it happened to me too. I mean, I
Really?
didn't crash, but it was like, whoa, this thing is such.
Yeah, you don't even have to pedal sometimes.
Really?
Yeah, definitely. So I could imagine
More
motorcycles
than just an
really be-
assist.
Okay, so we'll put that on the, on the old business and
Yeah.
keep it going.
Yeah, I think so. It's really.
Okay, so we're at number 6, which is the new business, and that's this thing.
Well, thank you for bringing copies.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my computer because I can't read that. It's really small print.
Oh, yeah, that is tiny.
Ben, do you need one?
No, I'm good. I got
Yeah.
one here. I was gonna take notes right on it.
Okay. So I'm gonna pull that up here. So. Okay, we go. All right, that's the wrong one. Okay, so, I thought I could read it easy.
I can read this first one.
Okay, go ahead.
Nominate a Bristol representative to sit on the Walk Bike Council of Addison County to foster safe and accessible opportunities for walking and cycling as an alternative to single occupancy vehicles. And I can also say that I actually, at some point, put my name on that, went to a few meetings and then didn't go for a long time and haven't been in a while. But I could actually reinstate myself and show up,
Great.
do that.
So what, in the, 10 minutes before I came here, I read through this bit, the instructions of what we're supposed to do here. And what they're looking for us to do is in this blank column A, is give it a 0, 25, 50, or 75% completion.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, the 3 places we're supposed to fill in are A, right here. F, just some notes of, yay, we rocked it, and 125%, we're awesome. And then for us to kind of give feedback on what we feel be priority on these. So these are the 3 columns they're looking for us to fill in.
Percent complete, progress, and priority.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. So
I'd
if
say
Sally is signing
25%.
up,
I'd say 25% so far.
25%?
okay. And Sally Burrell under progress will sign up.
Okay, yeah.
And
Because Sally is signed and she'll,
yes.
yeah, she's signed up. She just needs to
Were you
go to our
looking,
meetings and remind.
sorry,
people,
Sal. Were you looking for 2 of that first item? I was looking over level, I don't know, is it RSP?
Oh, yeah, so that is, let me just make sure I give you correct information. That's the rank for the assigned group from the town plan of responsibility if multiple groups are involved with the task. And I'll confess, I don't fully understand what that means, but I was hoping someone else would.
Yeah.
I'm interpreting that as level of priority in the view of the town, where there are multiple groups involved. And as I read through, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, is that our priority or the town's priority?
I don't know. I think
took
it's
it as the town's
the.
priority. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Well, I can know our priorities are in column G here. This
Right.
is where
We have our level of responsibility, like ours is 2 for that one. So, yeah, I don't know.
okay.
Okay.
Maybe the select board does have to do that.
Yeah, I think we'll leave that.
Nominate the
Can we ignore that?
person.
Yeah,
Okay. Forget I said anything.
okay. Somebody want to read the next one? I
Work.
really can't read it.
Work toward implementing the goals and policies as described in the Enhanced Energy Plan to help meet the state's 2016 Comprehensive Energy Plan targets.
Certainly in terms of completion number, we really are doing that with the MERP business and our work that we've done to get information regarding EV chargers.
And also, we've gotten 3, is it just this year, or we're talking about what we've done so far?
So far in my mind.
Yeah. So we've got 3 solar projects that we've worked with to make happen,
Mhm.
and those are paying for the, well, the third one isn't hasn't been built yet, but the other two are giving the town a fair bit of money,
Yeah,
to offset electric meters around town. So that's one of the things that's been done.
so it's funny, completion, it's never gonna be completed,
Right.
that's kind of
Right.
foolish. Yeah,
Is it 50?
it almost doesn't make sense to me.
Well, it does not say completion, it says work toward implementing the goals and policies.
Well, the
Yeah.
column says % completion number.
Yeah, that
Oh,
makes-
true,
yeah.
yeah.
So we're working to do this, how far have we gone? We've certainly gone 25%, but there's a lot more to do, I think.
Okay.
We got a lot more.
Yeah,
25%?
it's never ending. So we've got the solar projects, we've got the energy fairs. We can list out a whole bunch of things, the EV demonstrations,
What
It's-
about
it's-
window dressers?
window dressers.
It has to do with meeting the state's comprehensive energy plan targets, so we'd have to look at it in relation to that. Like, you know how they give us an A, B, or C, or whatever, the Addison County Regional Planning Commission, on how we're meeting that 2016 plan?
Okay.
Those are the goals that they're talking about, enhanced
I
energy
see.
plan
But all
goals.
these things contribute to those goals,
Yeah, right, they do.
So I think we should probably list them.
We had an informal energy audit on the library.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the things you said, the electric vehicle demos, window dressers. What else did you folks say?
Well, we did a lot of things earlier on were things like Matt Sharp gave his button-up things, and that helped people begin to do work in their homes. We don't know how much got done or anything like that really, but
Yeah.
there was definitely energy put toward that. It probably would be good to be looking at the numbers in the enhanced energy plan, but I mean, in some areas, we probably do have 50% done. Others areas with 25%. It's hard to know what exactly we have for all these.
Well, let's just list these things and then we'll talk to Kevin, maybe see what he thinks. The third one is maintain current energy resources and information on the town website.
We have not.
We have not done anything.
Is that a big fat zero?
Zero.
Who maintains the town website?
I don't know.
Ian Albinson did something a few times here and there. I don't know if he helped us out with throw things up for the energy committee. I don't know if he would do that now. If that's something he would do.
Yeah, I remember talking to him about it, and there was an issue of us having direct editing access.
Yeah.
Had
Right.
to kind of go through
Right.
the select board, as I recall.
The other thing is maintaining current energy resources and information on the town website. That is something that it didn't really come out of the enhanced energy plan. It's something that Kevin put in the thing, I believe. And I don't know if that's something that the energy plan says, but it is something that the planning commission wants, it looks like. So,
as we go down these things, we're really talking about bandwidth
yeah.
too,
Yeah,
and expertise.
very much so. Are we ready for the fourth one down?
Yeah, let's just question mark on that one.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Coordinate with Efficiency Vermont and other weatherization service providers to encourage Bristol residents to participate in weatherization programs.
Okay, I think we're doing that on an ongoing basis.
Yeah.
So implementation, that's almost 100%. We're doing it. We're continually doing it.
Okay.
Sorry, that was my cats to feed my cats. I hope my wife does that.
Feed your cats.
Oh, I hope my wife does that.
Your wife has one for the chickens.
Very upset. Sorry about that.
Hopefully they'll be telling her right now themselves.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the one will be making a lot of noise. Apologies. Sorry.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because it seems like we're always gonna be doing that. It's never gonna be
Right,
done,
right.
but we are doing it.
I mean, if the item is, are you doing it, then yes. You know,
Right.
So that,
Yeah.
I think that bolsters the case for 100%.
Conduct an energy audit of municipal buildings to identify weatherization retrofits and consider the recommendations for incorporation into the municipal capital budget.
Did we skip one?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
skipped
we
one.
skip
We skipped one.
What did we skip?
Promote the use of residential.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
I can read this one.
Thank you.
Promote the use of the residential and commercial building energy standards by asking the zoning administrator to distribute information about Vermont's energy codes to permit applicants and explaining options for energy efficiency. So that's a big one we haven't touched yet.
Mm-mm.
And it's, I mean, asking the zoning administrator. So we'd be asking him to do it or asking him for the stuff that, asking the administrator to distribute information. But why wouldn't the administrator already be doing that? Why would they need the energy committee to tell them to do that? They've been around doing it longer than we have already.
Yeah.
It seems like we don't really have the power to do that. You know, it seems like the select board should tell the zoning administrator to do that.
Uh-huh.
So
We're
let's,
just like,
yeah,
Middleman.
let's
Yeah.
put an NA on that one.
yeah, I just think it should happen though. I really feel strongly about it.
Sure.
Yeah.
So maybe we need to encourage that. Maybe I don't know. It's just maybe the select board doesn't want to say it, but it does need to come from the energy committee just because it's an energy thing.
I suppose.
Maybe that's why I was kind of,
Well, should we think about a sit down with
yeah,
the zoning board and
yeah.
ask them what they're doing?
Okay, I think that's worth doing. I think we should have a meeting with them,
Okay.
or him or them. I think it's just one of them, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a zoning administrator.
Who is that?
Yeah. It's, I'm picturing him and I can't come up with
Yeah.
a name. It's right
Is
there.
it Chris Purley?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Chris.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so we'll say sit down with Chris.
do you think it would be worth inviting him to a meeting?
Okay.
I don't know what's the best way to do it.
I don't
It seems
remember.
like that'd be good.
Richard, do you remember when the town wants this done by?
Well, they somewhere this
Yeah, it
month.
does.
It says this month. Yeah,
By
March
the end of the month.
2023. It's
I think maybe that would be good. Maybe, what do you think about asking Chris to come to our next meeting? Because it could help us learn more from Chris too about
okay.
how we should be doing that, or, you know.
About how the permit process works too, so we can
Yeah.
understand like at what point does he interface with people who have permits or request permits, and when is it an appropriate time if he did have additional documentation or whatever to give the applicants, and
Yeah,
kind of what that process is like.
yeah.
It seems like a mighty big subject. The state's energy come out of codes.
It's, I've gone to some of the meetings, what do they call it? The, RBs and the
Mm-hmm.
such and such,
Oh my gosh.
residential building energy codes and
Right.
something.
Yeah.
And it's so important. It's so important. I mean, the reason we're having to try to talk people into weatherizing their homes is because they weren't.
We haven't done it.
We haven't done it at the beginning, it
right.
wasn't done,
Yeah.
things aren't up to standard, all that,
Yeah.
and so people are losing money trying to keep those not well-done houses.
I wouldn't want to see us, though, somehow dragged into interpreting those codes or
Aye.
being responsible for
Yeah.
digging them up and giving them to people.
Yeah,
Sounds
that
like a
is,
job for an engineer.
Yeah. I don't think we're capable.
yeah,
of that.
it's not our job at all. It's just that we want to make sure things comply with the energy plan, since we're the energy committee. we need to just see, how's it going doing that to the zoning folks?
And see
just
what
learning-
happens. Yeah.
learning.
Maybe the answer
Maybe
is
learning more.
nothing, right? But then it's like, okay, well
Okay,
then,
well, let's talk about it because
Yeah.
it's not gonna get done if it doesn't happen.
right.
Could we be helpful to the zoning administrator by providing, who is the zoning?
Chris Brown?
Oh, Chris, that's right, you said that earlier. Providing what we think would, maybe with the assistance of Efficiency Vermont, what should be in a packet that goes to these folks?
I have a feeling that Chris already knows that, actually. You know, I
Okay.
mean, he's like, I'm sure he knows the residential building energy codes. I mean, I think it's already something that, you know, is kind of spelled out, but maybe.
Well, codes, yeah, but something even above and beyond, it seems like
Oh,
there's
I
more
see.
to it than just the codes.
Okay, the whole packet,
Um,
yeah,
It's also about explaining options for energy efficiency.
yeah,
Yeah, that part.
that's true.
So that piece, if there were resources that if he wasn't aware,
Okay, that's a good point.
he became aware, and maybe we could facilitate, at least initially, getting some of those resources.
That's great,
You know,
yeah.
and that would be good. I mean, Matt would be a great resource for that.
Are they looking for a one-page, easily understood, digestible summary for, who's our target
Options
audience?
for energy efficiency.
Right. Distribute information to permit applicants. All right, so something that's easily understandable for someone who's applying for a permit to understand the code. Is that what they're looking for?
Yeah,
A trifold pamphlet or a one-pager?
Probably less the code than the options.
Okay.
I'm thinking of the Efficiency Vermont materials on
Yeah.
energy efficient everything,
Yeah,
appliances, the
right.
whole business.
and
you know.
materials, building materials,
Sure.
and all kinds
Yeah.
of things that, like the newest things that are coming on,
Yeah,
there's
the new
probably a lot of
insulation.
change happening.
Well-
So I'm going to be calling Matt Sharp about the workshops. Do you want me to fold
Yeah.
that into my conversation with him?
See if there
Yeah, and
could be a kit of materials that could be handed to everybody applying for a zoning permit.
right.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And maybe Matt already knows what Chris does, or has done, and I don't know, maybe he has more awareness of what's going on than we do. I don't know.
All right. Yeah, I'll ask him.
Okay, the next one's in progress.
Energy audit.
Energy audits, yeah, municipal buildings.
So we're doing
We're in the middle of all that.
one informal one done on one municipal building. So does that put us at 25%?
The MERP is going to put us up pretty quick. Yeah, but 25% now.
Yeah, as of
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
25%.
Yeah. Gonna put MERP in here. 'Cause
Have we
that's-
identified all the buildings that, I mean, obviously the library, Howden and Hawley. Are there other municipal buildings that should be considered, police?
Those are all rentals right now,
Yeah, the hub is one, but,
but it's a rental.
we,
Okay.
yeah, we were supposed to do that day, but we couldn't, it was locked when we got there.
Yeah,
The fire station, but I have no idea. I mean, we could assume that it was built up to energy code, but that's an assumption. And I have no idea how you do an audit on a big building like that. I'm sure there's a way.
oh yeah, I'm sure, but I think we can say this is in progress right now with the stuff, the ongoing stuff that we're doing. And the second one is ongoing.
Which one are you on?
Upgrade efficiencies in all municipal buildings.
Yeah, and actually 3, 4, 5 are all part of this municipal energy resiliency program.
So do you think that's 25%, 25%, 25% as of this date?
Yeah, it's all arbitrary. I mean, it's
Sure.
kind of crazy.
Ready for the next one?
It's the same. It's the same as the one up above.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I'll look at
Zoning
that, it is.
administrator.
Yeah.
I didn't
Well,
even
just
notice
if-
that.
Oh, maybe that's why you skipped it earlier. It was already there.
They're all on.
Subconsciously, I knew.
That's like, he's like, just make sure that happens.
Right. It's doubly important.
there.
Why is it there again, I wonder?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay.
Huh.
I'm glad you noticed that. We might have argued about it all over again.
Definitely 95%.
Oh, I know, because it's under subsection description. Up above, it's under thermal energy, and then down here, it's under electrical use.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, look at that. Oh, so one is thermal, one's electric.
Okay. But pretty much
Yeah.
we'll have the same discussion.
Mhm.
We're doing the electrical vehicle charging stuff. Finding out. We're gonna apply. I'd say we're 25% there. We've done advanced work on that.
And then you'll just put down what you've done.
We've definitely created a number of applications.
And we know where we want to put it.
Yeah, we have different spots that have
Yes.
been,
Actually, there's one spot approved by
Okay.
the select board.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Where's that?
It's just kind of between the gazebo and the post office. There's a pole on the gazebo side.
That's right. Ian was there when we were out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Okay.
It was approved for level 2. Still think we really need a fast charger for the center of town.
Mm-hmm.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we need to upgrade that.
That's what needs to happen.
So investigate installation of municipal solar and or wind. I think we should have a wind generator.
Yeah.
Just put one on the roof of my house. It seems so windy all the time.
Oh yeah,
There.
there we go.
Okay.
Me too.
I'll
That's
put-
great.
There you go.
We'll put you down.
Yeah, that's me down for that one.
Yeah, it seems like wind turbines have fallen into disfavor.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they did, and
Not just because they don't look pretty to some people, but they just feel that in terms of zero, getting to that point zero, there's a lot of resources that go into making those things.
okay,
I see.
okay.
And tearing down forests and trees.
Yeah,
and
just
HOAs.
right.
site preparation,
Right.
and all
Yeah.
sorts
It's
of
gonna
stuff.
be offshore.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
you're excited
Yeah.
about offshore.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a wonderful project going on in Maine right now, a pilot project. Build them up the Kennebec River at a facility, float them down on their platforms, and simply anchor them to the seafloor out in the Gulf of Maine, 20 miles out.
Mm.
And no driving pylons in
Yeah,
it.
that's great.
You know, it's really awesome.
Yeah,
The Nordic countries are doing this stuff all over the
Mhm.
place.
yeah.
That's just, yeah, a lot of fascinating stuff. I heard about this years ago, but kind of deep sea, they have a buoyant ball
the
or
up
something.
and down?
And the up and down
Yeah, the
motion of the
surge.
tidal
Yeah.
Oh,
movement
right,
causes a generation of electricity.
yeah. So you get
Yeah.
both wind and tidal.
Sure.
Yeah.
Then,
Yeah.
of course, I think they got a big project, is it the Bay of Fundy has like the most dramatic tidal changes.
40 foot. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they can generate electricity going both ways.
That's wild.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
Very cool.
yeah.
There's a guy that I've been meeting with 350 Vermont, who is part of a group that is exploring systems like that on a big scale that will be able to recharge electric shipping, container
wow.
ships.
Oh, wow.
That they're already starting to build
Wow.
electric container ships.
It's like the concept of like a hybrid car, but like a hybrid boat that
Yeah.
uses
Yeah,
tides
right,
to
right.
charge.
That
the-
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, this stuff is mind-boggling.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, Yeah, you don't have to
Things
stop
are
and
moving
fill up. you
forward,
just
not
keep going.
fast enough, but they are moving forward.
Yeah. Okay, the next one, investigate installation of municipal solar. We've certainly done 3 projects so far.
Yeah.
We're involved in 3 projects so far.
So is that
So that-
100%?
Yeah, I would think so.
And then the
At
very
least
next
seven.
one,
And you've done more than investigate.
right, well, the
Yeah.
next
Than
one,
investigate the installation.
right, the next one is,
I mean, you could put 75 if you want to still investigate another one.
Yeah, actually, the one below it is the actual, what we've
Yeah.
actually done.
Mhm.
So we could combine those.
You've already completed the investigation,
Yeah,
haven't you?
yeah, that's
Yeah, I think it's
100%.
I would say that's 100.
Okay.
Unless we're planning on investigating more.
Mhm.
Well-
We can do 110%.
that's right.
And then the next one support. So, yeah, so we've done that one too. That installation for the community solar.
And the next one's kind of redundant. Goes back to 4, 5, and
Yeah.
4, 5, and 1, 3, 4.
You know what, now we're on electrical instead of thermal, so that's
Right,
why
yeah,
I'm
that's
doing
why,
it again.
Well, we helped the library write a grant to upgrade their, all their lighting fixtures to LEDs.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we did that.
Library LEDs.
Are we on to the next one?
Yeah.
Okay, so number 6, I think,
Mhm.
encourage the incorporation of electric vehicle ready standards into building code. So now we're back to building code.
So do
I
you,
don't even know what that means.
so do
It
you talk
means,
to,
like-
would you talk to Chris about
I
that
would
as
think,
well?
I would think that would be good. Or learn about it more before talking to him about it if we don't want
I would
know much about
imagine
it.
having
Chargers,
the
I guess.
electrical, well, not necessarily having the chargers, but having the electrical
Probably
infrastructure
yeah.
Capacity.
That's
do
what,
the
yeah,
project.
220 or whatever it is.
Chris,
whatever,
yeah.
And
So,
they talk, here's my deep ignorance, are they talking about municipal code, if there is such a thing?
It's kind
oh
of-
yeah, they didn't say,
No.
but I think it
It's
should be
building code.
residential.
Yeah, I would think we do.
I think it is
It's residential.
municipal.
Okay.
You think it's municipal? Okay.
I think
That's
so.
my assumption, but.
Well, we're not really like building, right? We're not building municipal buildings right now, really.
Well, actually, there is a study going on to replace the town garage
Oh, yeah.
and also the police station.
Okay, good
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe it could be both
Mhm.
municipal and residential.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think this is,
It certainly should be for affordable housing areas.
Yeah, it's too bad.
I wonder if they're putting them in the new places.
I do too.
The apartments.
I would hope so.
I think I asked about that, and I think maybe they weren't.
We're just missing on so many things. The network geothermal would be perfect for that,
Yeah,
that thing. And,
Yeah.
totally.
but, you know,
So we're at 0 on that, 0%?
I would
Which one
say
are we
so.
on?
The electric vehicle,
The-
yeah.
Ready standards?
Right,
Yeah.
and did we get a percentage on the one just above that?
5.
Yeah, explore opportunities to pursue funding to upgrade efficiencies in all municipal buildings.
We're really high on that.
Are we
Well,
Okay, 20.
except it's electrical.
25?
Yeah.
No, this is electrical use, so maybe 25, yeah.
Yeah. Work with the actor to understand the ways in which service to Bristol could be improved. That's I think a 0.
It's
Yeah.
0,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it would be,
Do you know what I'd like to do? I'd like us to sponsor a Ride the Actor free day. We have a
It's
party.
still
we
free.
get-
It's all free.
already-
No,
It's
I
already
mean,
free.
but I mean, we
Yeah.
get pizza, we make a party of it. And if you've never ridden Actor, we'll do a full loop. Spend a full loop on Actor with pizza and,
Party bus.
yeah, a party bus.
yeah. Another thing would be to give away free energy things. You know,
Yeah.
A light bulb.
light bulbs and things like that.
Would that be, how we could use that $4,000?
No,
You can buy food.
I'd rather
Yeah, you
get
can
free
buy
things
food.
from Cushing, Vermont, and give them away on the bus.
Yeah.
Or
Right,
something.
right.
And then,
Or they have to take the bus to Middlebury to get 5 LEDs or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
And then we have pizza
One per
on the bus.
mile.
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Just for my own edification, as the newest Bristol resident at this table, what is ACTR? What is
County
that?
Transit.
Yeah.
Regional
But
Transit.
it's now
something
Tri
like that.
Valley.
Tri-Valley.
It's
It's
Tri-Valley.
the
Okay.
bus.
It changes
No,
name,
Okay,
yeah.
got it. Okay,
It's
where
a,
does it go?
okay, so this it's
What
a
is
great
it?
bus.
I don't want to open a box.
No,
here,
it's
but
great.
where-
No, no,
I
it's
just don't know.
I use it a lot, or I used to use it more, but it comes to the Shaws and to right in front of the church.
The Baptist Church.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Baptist Church. And then it has some other stops around town. And it comes through and goes to Middlebury
Via New Haven.
via New Haven, yeah.
Oh,
And then it goes to Virgins. One of
Yes.
them goes
so
to
it goes up and down
Virgins.
seven.
Another
yeah.
one does, yeah.
So I
And
used
it-
to take it from here.
Okay.
I'd get on it in front of the Baptist church. I'd take it to New Haven. At the parking ride
Yeah.
behind Demon. And then you'd switch and then you'd get on the other one and it took me to Virgins to work.
Hmm.
So
That's great.
Yeah.
Wow, so you used it a lot.
whenever
you
my
use
car
it
whenever
when-
my car was in the shop, I would,
Yeah.
yeah. Or if I needed to not have my car in Virgins.
And you can move off of Actor onto other transport.
Yes.
I assume
up
it's,
to Burlington.
I
Yes.
mean,
Yeah.
you could take the train or, and again, I'm wondering about train schedule and Actor schedule. I wonder if they've integrated in a way that it's in Virgins when, the
Or
train's gonna
Middlebury.
be.
Well, the train only
Or
goes
Middlebury.
north
Goes to
and south
Middlebury.
once a day.
Oh, it doesn't stop, it doesn't stop in Virgins.
I don't
What
think
does? Actor just
The
goes
train.
from,
Yes, it does.
Oh, it does stop in Virgins.
But it's like 10 o'clock in the morning and 10 o'clock at night.
Oh,
It's
so-
only one time a
That's
day.
not-
Yeah, it stops in Middlebury around 11.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the thing with the Actor is it goes about 10 times a day
Yeah.
from here. So
Yeah.
like an hour and 10 minutes or an hour and 15 minutes, there's another bus. So it's pretty
People
often.
take it into Middlebury to grocery shop.
yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah.
I used to take
Well,
And then there's one that goes from Middlebury and it comes and it stops in front of the community bank and it goes to up 116 to South Burlington.
That's the 116 commuter. It
Yeah.
happens once in the morning, once in the afternoon, but now it might be 2 times now. I'm not sure if it just turned to 2 times.
Well, we need to publicize it and we need
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
get people, I mean, it's a matter
And
of,
it's
once you do it,
It's free.
you
right
know.
now.
It is, and I was surprised. I took the Actor to Middlebury, then took whatever the transport is to Rutland
The
to
bus.
the bus
The bus.
to pick up a car.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And I
that's
think I paid,
great.
I don't know, a few bucks, basically.
Yeah. That's
And it was
great.
kind of nice. I visited with a
great.
couple of people on the way to Rutland and
Yep.
it was better
Great
than
service.
driving by myself.
And then there's also a bus that goes between Burlington and Middlebury. So you get off the Actor bus in Virgins, you can take the bus to Burlington if you want to.
Yeah, Kevin Beam, who used to be at Addison County Regional Planning Commission, lived up in South Burlington and he took the bus often.
Yeah.
You know, as a matter of fact, he would schedule bringing his car when he had something to do. It was that
Yeah.
convenient.
There's hardly anyone on the bus. That it's sad,
Yeah.
but it's also
Yeah.
just so people know. You're not going to be crowded.
Right,
You know,
right.
It's like you pretty much have your own space to sit there and read or
Good number
whatever.
of low-income folks who use it
Yeah.
a lot to get to work.
Yeah.
'Cause it's really important.
Yeah.
for them.
So
Yeah.
let's keep going so we
Yep.
can
Yep.
start all
Yeah,
this.
they're probably pretty ready.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So transportation, the next one,
Encourage the installation of electric vehicle charging infrastructure.
and we're doing
It would
that.
be the same from above.
Yeah.
Yeah.
25. Nominated Bristol representatives
It's
on
the
the
walk
walk bike
bike thing
committee.
again.
Same deal.
Yeah.
Sally?
Oh, we're on that, Sally?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
The next one is interesting, that educate citizens about Vermont's motor idling law.
Why don't we put it on the town website?
Yeah,
Well, for one, I don't know who goes there. I think Front Porch Forum, we should do it on the website and
and do
we
it.
should do it on the Front Porch Forum.
FPF, yes. And I think we ought to look into some signs
So to
Yeah, signage.
Signage.
To this date,
Signage.
we have not done anything about it.
0.
Right, okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
There again. And yeah, we should put this on the website, and then when we have more things on the website, then we can send people there to look at things.
Okay, I'll sign up to do that, and I'll also look into the party bus.
Excellent.
There you go. Battery operated, but
Yeah.
in your USB port.
Nice. The Bristol Energy Committee will work closely with the Bristol Planning Commission, the Design Review Board, and the Zoning Administrator on any proposed energy development projects within Bristol. I don't know if we've done that yet.
Well, we worked certainly with Bristol Community Solar.
We would have had to, right?
Yeah,
So that's actually,
Well,
so,
I mean, we worked with the
select board.
select board,
Yeah,
but we haven't done design review board or zoning or Bristol planning. Okay, we could,
I don't
it's
know.
good to know about that.
Yeah,
I think it's worth opening up those relationships. That's something we probably should do. Be more tuned in to what they're doing, and let them know what we're doing, and
so I think the best way to do that might be to invite the heads of those to our meetings. You know, maybe the next few meetings, we do that. The most efficient way to handle it.
so what's our percentage on that?
0, I would think.
investigate the installation of municipal solar and or wind net metering facilities to offset municipal electric use and identify
We've
where the
certainly done
stations.
It's 100% because he did that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to.
Generate the solar fields.
Well, this one would be, the field in the landfill is not really doing this. But they're getting lease money from that. But this one,
This would be the Route 116.
yeah,
wouldn't it?
Route 116.
Yeah.
We didn't investigate it, we just heard about it and then, yeah, we investigated.
Oh, yeah.
We did, we totally, we met
had
up
them
with.
come to our
them.
meeting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
yeah. Yeah, we were
Done.
cool. Okay, and the next one is 100%. Bristol Community Solar.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I get a chance, I'll try to, with the help of Ben's notes, put this stuff together.
Thank you.
Great.
Was this an assignment from the select board?
Yes, from the planning commission.
Planning
right?
Commission, yeah. Okay. And we've, without knowing it, dealt with the recruit another energy committee member.
Yay!
So
When's the next meeting?
Every
every
third
once a
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Yeah,
Yeah.
once a month Wednesday.
Third Wednesday. We'll need to nominate you to the select board and you'll need to go stand before them and be grilled.
Should I bring my resume?
They didn't grill me.
Hand them a
They were like,
resume.
"Oh, you want to do it?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah, that's-
great."
That's
Again,
interesting.
Is that what you have to do now?
We always have, I mean.
All right, I
and
applied.
I
Yeah.
did.
They do,
Now
they
back
want to
in
do
my
that with
day.
everyone.
It was like
Yeah,
a single
you just
piece of
throw it.
paper, write your name, why you want to do it,
Yeah.
and then it was like, "Oh, hi, select board, I'm so and so." This is
Yeah, I just
So
got,
I'll just write a little blurb.
Yeah,
Okay.
they have there's
There's an
probably a piece of
application.
paper
there's
out
a
here.
piece of
Okay.
paper out there that you sign up for.
Oh, is that if you want to join committees?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was in the town report.
Mhm.
I
Yes.
pulled it out.
It is
Okay.
good.
I've got
Okay,
it.
you're in.
Great.
Great.
Okay, I guess if there's nothing else, then we will adjourn the meeting.